Well, all right. It is day one of the NFL season. Thank God. We can lay most of our worries to rest and focus on some football. Finally. So I want to start off with some bets. I'm going to focus on a super teaser, mainly because there's just great value in getting 10 points in any game. And I'll show you guys here. This is what most Delaware bettors are familiar with. That's how we got started when we could go up to Delaware Park and, put in bets. We would have to use these tickets and turn them in before we could bet off the board, before we can bet online like you can now, which just started this year. That's what we use. These tickets, I'm old school, and that's what I prefer to use. So 9 teams I'm going to pick. That's what I have selected. That is most likely what I'm going to put in. Now, a lot of people get turned off by the value because they really don't want to put in a lot of money to see, maybe a few hundred or a few $1,000s. Let's just say that. They want to put in a little bit of money and see millions, is what it seems like. But good luck. Again, so many times I go up to these sports lottery places, and I'll see people picking out the parlay cards with about 9, 10 teams, putting $20 on it. I'm like, dude, just go buy some weed or give me that money or something, because that's just going to waste. But to each his own. Let's get started. Game number 1 that's listed is the Dolphins, who are at home against the Jaguars. And on a super teaser, the Dolphins are getting plus 6.5. So, the Dolphins obviously an explosive offense. They lost some coordinators. They lost Vic Fangio to the Eagles, which I think will affect them. But the Jaguars just really don't beat too many good teams. Like, they just don't. And I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy. I'm not sold on him. I think he regresses. And I think it becomes who he is. It's just, he's had a stroke of luck here and there. But really, don't see Trevor Lawrence going in there and beating the Dolphins at home week 1, especially by more than 6 points. They have to win by 6.5. They have to win by 7 at least, and don't see it. Next, we have the Falcons at home against the Steelers. This one I particularly love because it's a Mike Tomlin coach team, and the Steelers, who are getting 13.5 points on a super teaser. To me, it's just a no-brainer. Really not much to talk about there. Next, we have the Vikings going into the Meadowlands to face the Giants. The Giants will be getting 10.5 on a super teaser. And what a lot of people do not know, and I'm always surprised when I find out people don't know, but you can bet both ways on a super teaser. So you can take the Vikings plus 9.5 and the Giants plus 10.5. And let's say it's a 3-point game either way, you cover both ways. And I think that's a really good opportunity. And most of the time when you see that, no matter what game it is or who's playing, like, that comes through a lot. Those picking both teams, especially with one getting 9.5 and one getting 10.5, which is obviously a 1.5 point underdog or favorite on a parlay or straight up. So next, we're going to go and select the Bengals just to win. They're getting a 0.5 point. Patriots coming in to Cincinnati. The Patriots just, no Belichick, no Judon, Matt Jones gone. Really don't know what to expect. We kind of know what to expect from the Bengals, although their offensive line may not be the best. Just going to bet quarterback to quarterback here, which is really what you got to do sometimes. And I don't see Joe Burrow losing week 1 to the Patriots. Moving on, we have the Chicago Bears at home against the Tennessee Titans. I do like the Bears to win, but sometimes you just got to go with the points. And the Titans getting 13.5, and you got a Bears team with just a lot of new moving pieces. They got Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams in there, rookie quarterback. So, sometimes it just takes a while for a new team, some new players and new pieces to really start to gel. And I don't see that happening week one, even if they do win. I see it being a very close game, maybe even, wouldn't say an upset, but maybe even the Titans victory here. Moving on, we got the Bills at home against the Cardinals plus 2.5. Listen to a lot of input on this game. A lot of people are high on the Cardinals. A lot of people. They've got Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously, they have Kyler Murray, which is the reason I'm against it. Not a big Kyler Murray guy. I just didn't deserve that money. And realistically, they're going into Buffalo, which is obviously one of the toughest places to play. Buffalo may start out slow, who knows? But ultimately, just to win the game or stay in it by 2.5, I would call that a lock there. Moving on, we got the Texans going into Indy to play the Colts. The Colts will be getting 13.5 points on a super teaser. Just a no-brainer. The Texans showed out last year when no one expected it. A lot of times when that happens, you get sort of a team that either stays where they were or just kind of regresses a bit. I don't know which it'll be for the Texans, but I don't really see them being too much better than they were last year. But I do see the Colts improving. You got Jonathan Taylor coming back. You still got Anthony Richardson and some solid receivers. Plus, they're at home, so just take that 13.5. Moving on to the 4:00 games, we got the Seattle Seahawks getting 4.5 with the visiting Denver Broncos. The Broncos are going to be terrible. The Seahawks with Geno Smith, they paid him. He deserved it. And going into Seattle, that's just a tough place to play. But I don't see the Broncos doing much especially coming out with a victory in week one against the Seahawks team. That's good. That's good and have one of the best home field advantages in the league. And last but not least, I have the Dallas Cowboys, who will be getting plus 13.5 going into Cleveland. Now, this game, I was like, just the spread, I was surprised by from the moment I saw it. Not just on a super teaser, but believe the Cowboys should be favorites in this game. I don't see how the Browns are favorites. Maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. But I definitely lock in the Cowboys plus 13.5 on any ticket, or the Cowboys, anywhere, really. I think that's a lock there. I think they win that game, and maybe even in blowout fashion. Dak's probably going to be extra motivated to show up going on with the contract situation going on. So definitely lock in them Cowboys. So all in all, again, 9 teams. Just depending on how much money you put on it, it's a good return. You don't want to go and put $20 on a super teaser or anything like that unless you're just looking to gloat and have a win under your belt, maybe. So let's review. We got the Dolphins plus 6.5, Steelers plus 13.5, the Giants plus 10.5, the Bengals just to win, the Titans plus 13.5, the Bills plus 2.5, the Colts plus 13.5, the Seahawks plus 4.5, and the Cowboys plus 13.5. And that is 9 games in total, and I am honestly very confident about this. Week one is normally crazy, and you don't really see a lot of good bets that stand out because a lot of new players, new coaches, new systems, but I really like this. It'll probably be a lot harder to pick, obviously, on just a parlay, but even a 6-point teaser, these picks still are really good, although I would not be picking 9 teams on a 6-point teaser, but on a super teaser, where sometimes even I've seen weeks where you could pick every team both ways on a super teaser. Every team. Just like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people don't know that they can even pick both teams, but there have been weeks where you could blindly select every team or any team on a super teaser, put any amount of money you want on it, and still win. That's how you can take advantage of teasers and super teasers. So I hope everything pans out, especially for myself, but for you guys as well. This is Buck at IYE, and until next time, peace.